Top 10 Big Ideas from Lex Fridman with Michael Saylor. Big idea number 10. Inflation is theft. Inflation is a silent killer that undermines the buying power of everyday people. Governments and economists often try to hide inflation through manipulative metrics, such as hedonic adjustments and changing the market basket. This only serves to boost synthetic metrics and further widens the gap between the rich and the poor. As the money supply grows, the power shifts from the working class to the wealthy and the government. It's like a game of musical chairs, where the working class is always one step behind and left without a seat. It's time for a new metric that truly reflects the quality of life for the working class, and not just the artificial metrics favored by the elite. Big idea number 9. The best government is the least. The government is not inherently malicious, but it can be misguided, and its inherited structure often leads to inflation and inflammation. The best government is the least government, and this is where the debate lies. Many of our problems stem from a fundamental misunderstanding of money and economics, which has resulted in a multitude of issues. We need to use engineering and science to improve the quality of life for humanity. The government's intentions may be good, but it often causes more harm than good, as seen in its tendency to collapse its own currencies in pursuit of its goals. This only further illustrates the complexity and magnitude of the inflation problem. The US dollar and economic structure was the most successful in the last 100 years, yet it still lost 99% of its value, and other countries have fared even worse. It's like a boat with a leak. We can bail as much as we want, but ultimately, we're just delaying the inevitable. Big ideas number 8. Everything is energy. Everything in the universe is energy that can be converted into different forms. Thinking about the world in this way can change your perspective and open up new possibilities. It raises the question of how you perceive the world at a certain frequency. Many great thinkers, such as Tesla, were influenced by their understanding of energy and its immense power. Operating from this perspective can help explain many things, from the effect of music on your mood, to the feeling a certain object gives you, to how your diet can impact your lifestyle. It is worthwhile to start approaching the world from this framework to maximize your potential. It's like a key that unlocks the secrets of the universe. Big idea number 7, digital energy. Tesla once said, if you want to understand the universe, think in terms of energy, vibration, and frequency. This concept suggests that the universe is made up of pure energy. Bitcoin is the first and most well-known form of digital energy because it is a digital asset backed by energy. The beauty of digital energy is that it can be easily transferred anywhere in the world without friction. This is because Bitcoin is maintained by a distributed network of computers, each of which uses energy to perform its functions. It is important to ensure that digital assets like Bitcoin are treated as property, not as securities, because property belongs to the owner and cannot be controlled by outside forces. This protects both the owners and investors from potential fraud, as the nature of the deal or the asset cannot be changed by outside or inside forces. This is why public figures are often banned from promoting securities, because their nature can be manipulated, leading to potential fraudulent activities. Big idea number 6. Unconfiscatable. Oil is a physical asset that is relatively easy to confiscate, but Bitcoin is a digital asset that is much harder to seize. In fact, Bitcoin is the most challenging form of property to confiscate that people have ever invented. This is because the private keys for your Bitcoin can be held in your head, making them easy to hide and difficult to seize. In contrast, cars, gold, and property rights are all physical assets that can be easily seen and taken away. People who are proactive of their private keys are much more secure in their digital property because it is less visible and potentially harder to access. It's like a secret password to your digital fortress. Digital keys in your head are the ultimate in property security. Big idea number 5. The ethics of property versus security. Property is something whose nature cannot be changed, unlike securities, whose nature can be changed. This creates an ethical disparity when it comes to prompting properties or securities. Because Bitcoin is a property whose nature cannot be changed, it is ethical to promote it, regardless of its price fluctuations. However, promoting securities is unethical because their nature can be altered, such as when a company issues more shares. Land is another example of property because its nature cannot be changed. This makes it ethical to promote property opinions, but unethical to promote securities. Securities require constant disclosure to ensure that nothing bad can happen. The fact that property can be promoted makes it a better long-term option because it will attract more attention than securities. It's like a plant that grows over time. It needs care and attention, but it will continue to thrive and flourish. Big idea number 4. Layers of Bitcoin. The role of Layer 1 in the Bitcoin network is twofold. It allows for the secure transfer of large sums of money, and it ensures the longevity of money. Layer 1 is like the foundation of a building. It doesn't move, providing stability and security for the upper layers. Layer 2 and Layer 3 technologies, such as the Lightning Network, are built on this foundation and allow for higher frequency and more transactions. These smaller layers are better suited for smaller asset exchanges and don't require the same level of security as Layer 1. It's like a pyramid. The foundation is strong and secure, supporting the layers above it. Big idea number 3. Bitcoin is universal energy language. Bitcoin is a universal trust protocol, a universal energy protocol, if you will. Bitcoin is a language like English that is used around the world, and if you understand the language, you can tap into it from anywhere in the world. The entire crypto community is very embryonic, and we are only 1 to 2% of the adoption level. Bitcoin and the Lightning Network are not built into popular items like phones, and when phones have crypto wallets built in, the adoption will permeate. Currently, the people struggling the most in the war are the people who were struggling the most before the war and are not the most technologically savvy, and as this improves, Bitcoin's and crypto's use case will improve. Big idea number 2. Bitcoin's risk is low, adoption inevitable. 13 years into the Bitcoin experiment, the risk has never been lower. In the early years, there were concerns about hacking, crashes, and potential bans. But in 2014, the IRS designated Bitcoin as a property, legitimizing it. It has since been copied thousands of times, but the original still stands strong. Now, we are moving into a phase of institutional adoption where governments and large institutions will begin to adopt Bitcoin as digital gold. This adoption is not essential for the success of the asset, but it is inevitable to some degree. It's like a tree that has taken root and grown tall and strong. It can withstand the storms and continue to thrive. Big idea number 1. Valuable advice for your people. My advice if you are entering adult is to focus your energy, guard your time, train your mind, train your body, think for yourself, curate your friends, curate your environment, keep your promises, and upgrade the world. Most people struggle because they lack focus. There is so much of everything in the world, and it can be overwhelming. The key is to focus on one thing and deliver the best possible outcome. This is like a laser beam. It's focused and precise, able to cut through obstacles and distractions. When people know what you are focused on, they are less likely to distract you, and you won't be pulled in a million different directions. It's clear that the world wants specialists, experts who are focused on a specific area. It's time to hone in on one thing and excel at it.